This podcast is brought to you by our Anime Addicts community that we love very much. If you want to be an anime addict and join our community, help out the podcast, and get all of our exclusive content, our hentai episodes, which we'll do one today, our hobby addicts, where I just talked about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so you can hear about that, and also our after parties. You get 8 exclusive episodes per month by going to aapodcast.com/join or Patreon, and our undying love for doing that as well. And if you're lucky, you can rub my bald head. Again, that's aapodcast.com/join or Patreon. And now, time to start the show.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at aapodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Welcome into episode 718 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast, where our sole mission is to make your anime addiction so much worse. Oh, it's so bad. I can't focus. Days and nights, cold sweats in the night. Anime waifus. Anyway, I am Mitsugi, and I am joined by Caroline, who will tolerate my psychosis today. How are you, Caroline?
See, I know it's just because you're having mixed vodka drink right now.
Yeah, and it has like 6 shots in it. So.
Oh my god! How big is the cup? Let me see.
It's pretty big. It's pretty large. It's
Okay, well,
20 ounces or so.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Though I feel like 6 is a little overkill.
I'm a big man with a big thirst.
Sure.
Speaking of thirst, we have Mason, who is a big water boy. He's a hydro homie, and he's got his water to boot. How you doing, Mason?
I'm doing all right, staying well hydrated on this lovely afternoon here in the Northeast. The weather is fantastic, perfect for watching anime with the windows open. There's nothing better than playing video games, watching anime with the windows open.
On a beautiful day.
Inside on a nice day. Yeah, you get it. Caroline gets it.
I get it. Yeah.
All right, if you want to follow the podcast, twitch.tv/AAA podcast, Sundays live at 5 p.m. Eastern. Watch us live, watch us on Twitch, YouTube, wherever you want to watch, it's fine. We're here. I'm bald. You can make fun of how bald I am, whatever. We're also on Twitter, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, all these places. Chitin would appreciate if you went there and laughed at his memes and things, so follow us on social media. And of course, the Discord, AAADiscord.com. You can pull out your phone right now, believe it or not, go to your browser, type AAADiscord.com. Assuming you have the Discord app, it will take you straight to our page. It's 100% free, and roughly 3,000 people on there that will be your friends. They'll talk to you about anime, games, whatever you want. So, again,
more than
Discord.
Friends. We have several frenemies that just argue constantly. So if you need somebody to meet you, to reach your level, and to disagree with you for fun, that's also a great place to go.
People love bitching and fighting and arguing and whatever. Whatever you want to do. Well, what are we going to do on the podcast today? So we are going to be doing a live action discussion, which we don't normally do, but hey, it's a new year. New year, new me, new us. So, and also the 100 girlfriends who really love you. I'm not going to say all the reallys because they didn't give me 100 girlfriends, so they can go fuck themselves. It's more like the 6 girlfriends that really love you because, I don't know.
They'll get there.
Yeah, season 20. We'll get there. So, and of course, if you want to vote in our anime Oscars, you're running out of time. So you need to do that this week. AnimeOscars.com. People, it's not hard. Honestly. Pull out your phone. AnimeOscars.com. You vote. It's free. You don't even have to sign in. Just AnimeOscars.com and you vote. Got a lot of votes in here already. So I posted again on the Discord, which I don't always do, but immediately we received a boost of 20% within like 5 minutes. So that
And
helped.
there's no blowouts yet, so your vote still matters. It's not like someone's run away with it.
Actually, I'll tell you, the anime of the year is within 0.5%. And it's entirely within
different from some other award shows we know.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second. So again, your vote does still matter. AnimeOscars.com. Caroline?
And also in terms of award show news other than they who will not be named until a few minutes from now. Mason and I made an appearance on the R Anime Awards show, which was last night or Friday night. Yeah. So
yeah, it was last night.
Yeah, if you want to hear a discussion on the anime of their suspense category, Mason and I, we got her done. And yeah, check it out. It was a really good discussion. I have to go re-listen and see how much of that discussion
they cut most of it down, but they'll put the full version out later. It's an award show. You can't spend 25 minutes talking about suspense anime.
I know. But it was a good discussion. So you say that they're going to put out the full version too?
They usually put out the full one down the line.
Nice. Okay.
So,
well, that makes me feel better.
Who watched that and shouted us out and said nice things in the comments. It made our Kokoros go doki 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 doki.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Well, with that, it's time for big news of the week.
It's time for big news of the week.
All right. Well, I don't know what to say about this. So Jujutsu Kaisen wins basically everything at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and I can't help but wonder if. Listen, I make no bones about it. Criticize me if you want. Do whatever. Say whatever you want. I find the Crunchyroll Awards to be a little cringe. It's a little awkward, most of it. But I also wonder why you have an award show when the same anime wins absolutely everything. So I don't know what the deal with that is. But Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 won Best Anime, Best Action, Best Directing, Best Voice Acting, Best Cinematography, Best Character Design, Best Supporting Character. So not only the best, that's, I guess, I'm not sure who won Best Character, but they won Best Supporting Character. Best Opening and Closing. I don't know what else is left. I guess the eGamer Awards, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I can guarantee you this isn't going to happen with our award show. I'm not going to say Jujutsu Kaisen will or won't win a lot of stuff, but I'm looking at it right here, and it's not winning everything. So, did you guys watch this? What are your thoughts on this? It seems just a tad odd to have one anime win at all.
These things, I never watch them.
I mean, on one hand, if you make an unbelievably good anime, it deserves to win categories that it's nominated in. So if you make that good of a show, you're entitled to the boons of your labor. Lord of the Rings is allowed to win a ton of Oscars because it was a really good movie. That said, this is all fan voted, so it feels like a popularity contest because probably people I like Jujutsu Kaisen, and I don't really know much about character design, but I'm going to vote for that show because I loved it. So that feels like it cheapens the wins because it feels so based not on the earned virtues of it. But the biggest issue with this is that this is not won by Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. This is won by Jujutsu Kaisen's first arc of Season 2. This was just the first 5 episodes, the hidden inventory arc.
Is absolutely insane.
Why would they even
no sense?
Why would they even have voting on that?
The new rules for Crunchyroll is that the fall season, whatever, doesn't get in next year's, it doesn't go in 2023. But they didn't really do a good job of clarifying that in this. They just said Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, and people just assumed it was the whole show.
Yeah,
so they
why
probably
wouldn't they
voted on
that?
it as if it was the whole show.
Of course they did.
It's not even half of the show. Why did they section out
a flashback
a quarter
of 5 episodes
of a show?
To be fair, a great 5 episodes. Easily my favorite part.
Yeah,
but...
it was great. But I would sort of understand if maybe they did only the part that was in 2020. Was it 2023? Was that the cutoff or something?
Yeah. It had to be done by a certain time point. So I don't know.
It feels like they purposefully chose, okay, it's going to be the first 5 episodes, not this section of the show, not this part, this half, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It feels very Like, would they do that for any other show? I don't think so.
I don't think so, which isn't why in our Discord, if you go take a look, there's a bunch of people making jokes that the second part of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 will win all the awards next year in 2025 of the 2024 awards for a 2023 show.
It's just so disappointing because there was actually about a fistful of really good shows last year. Oshi no Ko, people loved. Heavenly Delusion, people loved. Jobless Reincarnation was still really good. Obviously, Jujutsu Kaisen was just fine, of course. It was good. Vinland Saga, hello. There's a lot of stuff last year. Buddy Daddies, Dangers in My Heart. Like, there were a lot of good shows, and I don't know. Listen, if we had voting on our podcast and every single category was won by Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm not going to doctor the results to have it not win, but I also think that our listenership is obviously a little more well-spoken as far as watching anime than I guess the Crunchyroll fans are, because I promise you it's not going to win everything that we've got to offer.
They have a bigger pool, which means more people are going to be jumping in, which means more of those people are just the masses who watch more popular stuff. And if you allow Jujutsu Kaisen to be in every category, then, and if it wins, like, that's the result. So it's not like you can blame Crunchyroll, but it does, tarnish the look of their whole awards.
I don't blame Crunchyroll. If anything, it tarnishes the fans. It's like, go watch something else besides shonen. Like, is that all you give a shit about? Is shonen anime? I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, and man, I just can't. Man, it's very difficult for me to think of a supporting character better than the supporting characters that Vinland Saga had. Einar, are you kidding? That guy was fucking strong as a supporting character to Thorfinn. So, I mean, I don't know. I would have had to have expected Vinland Saga to win a little more. I mean, there's no fucking way Vinland Saga can't lose Best Directing to a show that is just fighting for 90% of it. You're not even directing. What are you doing? It's mostly fight choreography. I'm just blown away by this.
Did Vinland Saga win anything?
I didn't win Best Directing.
Well, okay, we know this, but did they win anything?
Well, I can check actually and find out, but yeah, we'll see in here in a second. Vinland Saga. Nope. I don't believe so.
Not a single thing?
Nope. It was nominated for Best. It was nominated for Anime of the Year, but it lost. It was nominated for Best Cinematography, but it lost. And that was it.
That is so mind-boggling that
I think
this happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just stunned by that because honestly, like, listen, there's nothing about Jujutsu Kaisen that's any different than like Dragon Ball. It's just fighting the whole fucking time. It's just Naruto fighting, whatever. I don't know. Best Directing. Listen, I'm not a film student, but I'm not aware that like you have to have great directing to have fight scenes. So,
I mean, it does play a role.
Is it a major role? Does it play more of a role than you feeling the emotional impact of, trying to rewrite your entire life to live a life of peace? And, it takes a lot to like move someone emotionally without like punching them in the throat. I don't know. I feel like that's a harder accomplishment.
That's writing though. That's not directing.
Well, I don't even know that they had best writing.
They probably didn't, and I'm sure anime fans would not know what that is either way. I mean, no award show is perfect. I think we all can accept that, but this ain't it. This is not.
Yeah. I just thought last year was really strong, and I'm surprised to see no one else win anything. So I could pull up the full list of awards here and figure out like what else won what, but the list that I just routed off is most of the big ones. So it would only the ones that aren't won by Jujutsu Kaisen are probably only the category ones that it doesn't fit in. Like, it's obviously not a comedy, so best comedy was won by something else. Best drama was won by something else, which could have been Vinland Saga. I'm not sure, but yeah, pretty weird. Doesn't need to be droned on about, but I wonder why people even give a fuck about the award show when it has such a ridiculous result. And let's be honest, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 was not Lord of the Rings. So not even fucking
Stay tuned
close.
next week for the AAA podcast Oscars.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
we do our own award show, and it's also questionable results, but it's funny, and it's a different kind of cringe, and that's the difference.
All right, Caroline, what do you got?
All right, so turns out that McDonald's is taking on its common anime counterpart's name, WcDonalds, to get some weebs to buy some chicken nuggets.
Yeah, because they cost $10 now.
I don't know. McDonald's started up on February 26th in collaboration with Japanese illustrator Aki Bright and Studio Pierrot to create WcDonald's Universe. So Aki Bright designed WcDonald's manga-inspired limited edition packaging featuring WcDonald's crew characters.
Take a shot every time Caroline says
WcDonald's. WcDonald's also has its own website where you can watch Studio Pierrot anime shorts and Aki Bright manga chapters after scanning the code on your WcDonald's meal bag. So the anime shorts will debut every Monday and will honor 4 of anime's biggest genres: action, romance, mecha, and fantasy. Your WcDonald's meal features a new savory chili sauce with a 10-piece Wick Nuggets.
Oh, I love me some McNuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that,
Nuggets.
Did you know that McDonald's, not sponsored by this podcast, is or not sponsoring this podcast, is the only fast food place where you can still get a good deal on food. On food, I put in quotes. You can order a quarter pounder and get 10 nuggets for a penny on the app. You can do that.
I don't know. Maybe WcDonald's will sponsor us.
I fucking love some chicken nuggies. Okay, 26 grams of protein for 10. Come on.
But is it actually chicken?
Probably not. Probably not. It's probably like rats or some kind of fucking fake chicken, some lab-grown meat. But
yeah.
Don't ask questions.
Probably just some congealed pond scum they scooped out of the fryer
one
evening and poured it in the pennies, and it tastes great.
I don't need more in my imagination, guys. Thanks.
Have you watched any of this, Caroline?
No, because I don't go to WcDonald's or McDonald's. I would go to WcDonald's, but I actually don't know where the WcDonald's are. I don't know if it's every McDonald's or if, like they said in the article, that it's like across 30 markets. I don't know what that means. What's a market? Is it a store? Is it an area? Is it a country? I don't know.
I think it would be an area.
Yeah, so I've tried looking for a list of places that will be in part of this promotion, but I couldn't figure it out.
Caroline Googles WcDonald's on her maps, and it says, "Did you mean McDonald's?" And Caroline's like, "No, I mean WcDonald's."
I have something else for your imagination, Caroline, related to this hentai, if you want me to go into detail.
I'm not here to watch hentai mitts. I'm here to talk about McDonald's.
Well, technically, I'm watching it, and you're just listening.
And you're just experiencing it secondhand.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so bad.
What a great idea.
I will say this guy is laying on his back on the tatami like a corpse. He's just not moving. Oh, just kidding. All right. I'm not kidding. Actually, that's actually happening. But yeah, please continue.
I'm literally not joking. It's happening right now.
It is happening. I'm watching it as we speak.
I understand.
Things are going up and down.
What's more likely to make you consume food? The WcDonald's anime tie-in or the Dragon Ball Reese's Puffs?
Oh, I bought that
combo.
I bought that Reese's Puff.
How was it?
It was delicious. I ate the whole box of Reese's Puffs, which is definitely made of heroin, and
took as well when I was there.
Yeah,
glad to be a part of it.
Delicious, yes. And we are going to cut out the front. So the front of the box is actually better than the back, which is what people are collecting for. The back is like Goku lunging at you or whatever. But the front is really where he's got the spoon and he's standing behind the cereal. That's what you want. So we're going to cut
the tie-in with the cereal.
I bought a very specific frame size for this box, and I am going to have Pancake cut out the front of the box and frame it for me, and it will go in the kitchen.
You see, I kind of expected you to get a bigger frame so you could just fold the box in and not have to cut it out.
Make it a collector item.
But I saw the frame that you got for it, and it's certainly not big enough for that.
We're going to do our best with the resources we have. Yeah.
She goes to cut it, accidentally messes it up. And you're like, oh no, I guess we got to get more Reese's.
I got another one. Man, that stuff's fucking crack.
I'm sorry that this big news listener is just about food to whet your appetite.
Listen,
but there's more. Unless you want to talk more about Reese's Puffs.
Well, yeah, I will, because Reese's Puffs cereal is so addictive, and I think it's made to be that way, that I could sit there and eat a whole box of that dry with my hands in about an hour. The whole box. The entire box in an hour without stopping. And then my kidneys and my like pancreas would explode. But like honestly, it's just that delicious. Mason's not wrong. In fact, he's correct. And that's a warning.
That's
not
risky.
wrong. In fact,
That's a fucking warning, people. Reese's Puff cereal, especially with Goku on the front, will own your life. You're gonna have to go to RPA, Reese's Puffs Anonymous, to get to recover from that shit. Anyway, yeah, now I'm done.
Yeah, one last thing about WcDonalds. WcDonalds will also be brought to life in a multi-sensory dining experience in Los Angeles on March 9th and 10th. And I think you have to make reservations for this. So if you're
that's a bummer.
interested in being a part of the WcDonalds universe, then I recommend that you check that out.
Multi-sensory.
Multi-sensory.
What senses do you think they're not doing?
Well, they already have the taste going because you got food. Perhaps touch, and you'll be suddenly punched in the face like a shonen protagonist.
I think you're going to be assaulted with all senses at this experience.
The
I
baseball
will be
show?
in Los Angeles at the end of March, so I will miss this, unfortunately.
Too bad.
But if I was there during this time, I would flash my press confidential badge that this podcast definitely does not have with McDonald's brass to let me in for an exclusive thing. So I'm sorry. I let you down, listeners.
I wish that they would do more with the idea other than giving a new savory chili sauce. Like, can you can you make your Big Macs like a Hamburg steak or something? Or, I don't know, do something else anime-esque, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Do you say Hamburg steak?
Yeah, isn't that what people eat in Japan?
Yeah, but
instead
it's
of
fucking
hamburgers?
horrible.
I'm sure it is. But McDonald's can put whatever crack they put in their usual food and make it work.
I don't want to know what's in their food.
I don't want to know.
I don't, yeah.
Mason, what do you
Final
got?
big news of the week is an event that I think Mitz just missed out on, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
But the millennia-old Naked Man Festival is ending in Japan.
Oh,
it's very tragic. This has said to have run for over This is said to have run for over 1,000 years at the secluded Kokusekuji Temple in the Iwate Prefecture. Was recently held for the last time in the heart of a freezing February, where a legion, if you will, of loincloth-wearing men would gather and wrestle in this big, open ceremony for this talisman that is said to grant luck or something. And it's called the Somen Sai Festival, most famously known as the Naked Man Festival. They're actually not naked, unfortunately. They do have the little, white strip covering them up. But in an online post, organizers of the festival conceded that they have been unable to find enough willing young participants to alleviate the pressures placed on the aging locals, who are unable to keep up with the demands of the ritual. So, while there are 2 other Naked Man adjacent festivals in Japan, it's sad to see that such a storied legacy will come to an end. Mitsugi, why weren't you there? Why didn't you come to the rescue?
They told me I couldn't.
Been the chosen one.
I'm way too willing to just whip my cock out in front of people. I don't care. So I'm unhinged and uninhibited. If it wasn't illegal, I would have pulled my cock out many times with Pancake in my presence in public, but she stops me every time. I'm dead serious. I don't give a fuck.
Shame.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't like this article, which is on CNN Travel. The headline reads, Japan's millennia-old Naked Man Festival ending because of population decline. And while population decline is certainly a thing that has been affecting Japan for a while, I just think people just don't want to get naked in a room with 100 other dudes in the middle of February. Like, I think that's more the hurdle to clear. But to each his own, I guess. So, unfortunately, if you were planning to watch that in years in the future, you have to go to either Fukushima or Okayama prefectures to get your fix of the man meat. So that's my big
Why
news
did you
of the week.
phrase it like that?
Man meat.
Because...
sweltering cock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Constantly trying to...
Man, this is making me want to get naked. We should do it. Should we get naked?
I mean, maybe in the
Pancake
future.
screaming no in the background.
Pancake's like, no.
Could you not?
Why don't you come up here and get naked? No. Come on, don't be a pussy. Get your ass up here and get naked. Pull out the sweater puppies.
Maybe that's what this festival needs. It needs to just be naked people festival, not
unhinged
just men.
foreigners. That's what it
I think if you have a naked person festival, you get a lot more participation. Anyway, what's our main
whatever,
topic?
bro. Oh my god, live action discussion. So we have put together a list of live action shows in a number of different categories. Look, there's been a lot of live action stuff lately, and I think that's kind of the driving impetus of this. We had the One Piece show. Now we have the Last Airbender show. You know, there was the Rurouni Kenshin. There's a whole bunch of stuff, right? So we're going to be doing some tier lists for us to discuss. I think it's really going to be a list of our favorite live action shows. I think that it's going to read as kind of a recommendation list for everybody listening. If you want to check out some live action and you're not really sure where to begin, I think this will be a good place for you. So you can kind of listen in and see what kind of stuff we've watched, so you don't have to take chances on watching stuff that might be bad. Where do you guys want to begin with this? Do you have tier lists built that you want to discuss?
Well, I actually didn't know we were making tier lists, to be honest. I was thinking more of a general discussion on what makes or breaks live action shows. But
yeah, it's kind of an open thing. It was more of, I compiled a list of live actions that I have seen at least a part of, and I figured trying to get to the bottom of what makes a live action succeed, not succeed, and while discussing each one, we could place it in not like a CABD, like tier list of a traditional sort, but just is this a fantastic adaptation, passable, subpar, or abysmal?
We can do that.
So just a general place each one in a thing.
I should have had a ranker ready for this. We could have done a ranker. Or a tier builder, or whatever the fuck that's, because late now.
But it would have been annoying to set up with all the images. So we'll just do it here as we talk and give it one of the four things: really good, okay, not okay, really bad, and just try to get to the heart of what are we looking for in a live action that makes it work or not. Because
what do you look for, Mason, in a live action?
I'm definitely someone who is not a source material purist. I think when manga get adapted to anime, when anime get adapted to live action, whatever it is, you need to recognize the fences, the limitations of the media, what works and what doesn't work, and you should be encouraged to make changes to what you need to make a better product. So you can twist and tie and cut and rearrange a story based on what fits what you are trying to do, while also at the same time, which makes adaptations tricky in any medium, honoring the crux of the emotions, the characters, what is trying to be said, and capturing whatever about the original made it special or made you want to adapt it to begin with. So, the first one I had on this list here is the recent Cowboy Bebop live action, which, did a pretty good job. And this is kind of the theme that I've seen a lot in recent Netflix adaptations, between this, the Yu Yu Hakusho one, the Avatar The Last Airbender one that came out. They all have a lot of money put behind it, and it makes their special effects, their earth bending and water bending. It makes the ghosts and the fights in Yu Yu Hakusho look good from a generally CG. Like, the tricky part of it is handled by finances, but they just don't capture the spirit and charm and writing and characters that made the original so good. So Cowboy Bebop, to me, misses the mark. It's not abysmal. I would say it's probably subpar, and that it's all the way. It's just a vastly inferior product that gives me nothing new. I watch the live action and I just think I wish I was watching the anime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the abysmal category for Bebop. I'm not going to give it a subpar just because it has money put behind it. That anime attempted to literally recreate Cowboy Bebop, and I'm not much of a creative, and I honestly treat these properties the same way I would like classical music. I actually feel offended when people try to listen, if you had like a Chopin Nocturne, which is obviously a masterpiece that's persisted for like 300 years, if someone today tries to like improve upon what Chopin did, I'm literally just like, look, you're not smart enough or talented enough to do this. Chopin is not worse than you, and you're not going to be able to improve Chopin. So just fuck off. And so, like, you know, I'm not really in a position to say, yeah, you're going to like improve upon what Shinichiro Watanabe did. You're better than he is. You're allowed to take liberties and modify the source material because you think you like have something owed to you where you can like modify. I'm just not like that. Some people are, and that's fine. But Cowboy Bebop, you can't totally rewrite the story. Julia's not a boss babe. She's not chaining Vicious in the basement. So fuck off with that. And so to me, that's abysmal. I just don't, I didn't want to be, I wanted no part in that at all. To be honest, it was horrible.
Yeah, I think like one of the biggest sins in a live action is not getting the characters and trying to make them different from what they are. Because out of everything in a show, I think fans will get attached to most to the characters and who they are. And if you mess with that, then it's kind of like, who are you making this show for anyway?
Yeah,
if you think that you did better than the originals, then make something else. But if you want to change something that already exists, then you're just going to make something that's probably inferior, and it's going to piss off the fans.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And you know, if you want to make your own thing, do that. But like Bebop was already made. So you owe it to the millions of people that love that show already dearly to do it a good service, and completely changing everything about it is just not right in my opinion. So
well, we have a lot of things on this list to discuss.
So are you guys saying Cowboy goes in abysmal?
Abysmal. Fucking horrible.
Okay.
Netflix canceled it.
From my perspective,
it got canceled in like 3 days.
Subpar.
Oh,
I would also put it in subpar.
Okay, I guess it's subpar then.
Because I've seen worse, but I've also
I've seen what's else on this list.
I just want to say, as the last thing, Netflix did cancel that in like 4 days.
Yeah.
So that might have been a record.
That was funnier than the show.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So the next one you put on here is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Well, the next one was Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, sorry, I'm drinking vodka. What do you want from me?
It's okay. I thought the Rurouni Kenshin ones were pretty good. I would say better than the anime remake we got last year.
Yeah, they're very faithful. And the last one that came out, I think, was of the OVA that Caroline and Pancake watched with me, and it was pretty good. I mean, then it's not going to be as good as that OVA, but I would say it's definitely impassable at least. And that's what I was thinking. They've all been pretty solid, actually. Even there's like 4 of them now, aren't there? 3 or 4.
There's a bunch, yeah.
Yeah, so I think they do a pretty good job with it, but they also don't fuck with it a lot. It's pretty, faithful. So Rurouni Kenshin, yeah. I hope I resuscitated Caroline's faith in Kenshin with that OVA, because
I liked it. I don't think I loved it as much as you did.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. As long as you liked it, that's good enough for me. So, and as long as you like
I will agree, it's far better than the show that was made recently.
More importantly, if you like my homemade pizza, I don't even care about the anime. It's just like,
oh, you just want to know about your pizza?
Just the pizza.
Thank you for the pizza, Mitz. It was very good.
I'll make that pizza for you anytime you want.
All right, send it over, just in the mail.
Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh, Mason, did you even? Yeah, are you done with Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah, we can put Rurouni Kenshin. It's like you said, it's so true to it that there's not much to talk about. It once again, there's kind of 2 schools of thought. Do you recreate the exact same thing, which I find boring, or do you take some risk and switch it up and tell a different take on it? But yeah, Rurouni Kenshin is very accurate, true into it, and you can get away with it without a lot of special effects because it's just dudes fighting with samurai swords. So it's more conducive to a live action than something like Avatar, which has a lot more stuff that needs to go into it. Mm-hmm. Yu Yu Hakusho. Now this one I would put in the abysmal, because while Cowboy Bebop still kind of honored the sense of the episodic and the format of the show, Yu Yu Hakusho just tried to cram everything and speedrun it in just a couple episodes, and it just was not, for that format, a great idea. So while, once again, it had some budget, it had some cool scenes, it really neutered so much of what made Yu Yu Hakusho so compelling. Didn't get to anything interesting, and just really was a travesty on any level. I think the difference between the Yu Yu Hakusho and Cowboy Bebop, you could watch the live action Cowboy Bebop and understand what people saw and enjoyed in the original. You might not like it, but you could be like, oh, I get the appeal of this. That was completely absent in the live action Yu Yu Hakusho. It was just a cluster on epic proportion. So I don't know if either of you guys saw this one.
I did. I saw it.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched probably two or three episodes of it, and I didn't watch all of it, but it was okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm in the passable category only because I'm so used to live actions being so fucking bad.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
It's all relative. Like they're mostly bad, but it's because they're mostly Japanese. I hate to say this, but people, listen, I lived in Japan. Their TV is bad. Like, what do you want me to do? It's fucking bad TV. There are amazing anime with horrible live actions, and Yu Hakusho, man, to me, it's just not near. It's not even near the bottom. Some of the characters looked a little fucked up. Like, I wasn't happy with Kuwabara.
Yeah, and what did they do to our boy?
Yeah, he's just not. Yeah, I mean, but
we can put that one in subpar. I'm fine with that.
Where did you have it?
I had it in abysmal.
Abysmal?
Yeah.
Oh,
like, what
dude,
about
listen.
That live action made you want? Listen, we'll get into some truly abysmal stuff.
Listen,
as you add some to the list.
Listen,
yeah, we have way too many things on this list, guys. I think we need to cut.
Okay, all right, okay. Put it wherever you want.
We'll put it in subpar.
Okay.
That wasn't very good. What do you want to talk about next, Mitsuki?
So the next one is La Blue Girl, which is a very famous hentai.
Oh my god.
Live action hentai. I mean, listen, you haven't lived until you've seen live action tentacles. You don't even know. Listen, you don't even know about the live action tentacles. But if you don't look up the La Blue Girl live action hentai from like 1990, I don't even know the year, 1992, and see what they can, the magic. Listen, Disney likes to say, oh, the magic of Disney, the magic kingdom. Listen, they don't have shit on La Blue Girl's tentacles. That's magic. I'm telling you right now, you will be blown away by...
So what makes this a good, or where would you put it? Why? What makes this live action memorable?
It's an abysmal. I put it does exist. It's real, but it's fucking terrible. But you can put that in abysmal.
Okay. Lovely. We can skip Midnight Diner. I don't think either of you guys have seen it. Have you seen, Mitz, the live action GTO?
I have, all of it. It has a live action movie and a live action TV show, and the live action TV show is very faithful to the anime and quite good. So I would put that in passable for sure. It's the guy who plays GTO, I think, is coming back. They're at least making another live action GTO somewhere. I think it's coming out not soon, but in the future. The movie is not that great, but the TV show is quite good and worth watching. And I think I polished off probably the majority of that. All of it.
Fantastic or passable?
Just
and I
passable.
Guess,
it's not fantastic.
What makes it decent? Just because it follows exactly what you want? Did they capture the essence of Onizuka?
It's faithful. The main guy does the best he can with Onizuka, given that Onizuka is kind of larger than life. The school kids are pretty faithful. It touches your heartstrings a little towards the end with all the teachers kind of coming around and realizing that Onizuka has his own way of doing things and that he has his own approach and that he should be, not treated just like a thug. And, they accomplish a lot, enough to be good. And I think it was decently long. And I watched all of it, so it couldn't have sucked that bad. This is a long time ago. Oh, here's One Piece.
Yeah, I think Caroline has seen all of this one.
Yeah.
I watched a bit of it, so maybe you're more open to talk about than me. Where would you place this? Where do you think it did well? Where do you think it didn't? Okay. As someone because you have not seen the anime, correct?
I have not seen the anime. I have not read the manga. So this is coming from somebody that can't first person compare it to the source material. But based on my experience, it's a great show. Based on the fans' experience, which I've talked to Lady Emery, who is getting in far into One Piece. Like, she's 900 episodes in right now.
Oh my god.
She's just dipping her toe in.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so she says that
degenerate.
this is like the standard, the golden standard of live action adaptations. So based on that, I'm automatically just going to say fantastic because based from a person who is not a fan of the anime just due to the fact that I've not experienced it, and from the experience of somebody who is a fan, both of those groups should be able to be fairly satisfied with this show. And as we mentioned before, like the characters feel true to the original. The pacing is decent. The special effects are surprisingly decent. Mitz, the clown, I know you hate the clown.
Yeah.
But the clown is a star. Like he just takes the scene. The actor is probably doing a lot of the work. And surprisingly, his character design is not too wild. He's very good.
I need like the pirate with the clown nose. Is what we're talking about? Oh, come now.
Buggy.
Come now, my lady.
Okay, well, he looks very different from, in the cartoon to the live action show. They do kind of play down some of the visual effects of a lot of the characters, which is probably for the best. But they still have, they still make the fishmen look like fishmen, And Lady Emery and Pancake and I did a whole diatribe on the One Piece live action a few days ago. We're going. The episode will be out eventually. I'm not going to say when because I have to edit that stuff. So, but we will get more into the nitty gritty details of the One Piece live action. But just for the sake of this discussion, I can say that it is a fantastic live action.
Wow, fantastic.
I would say between fantastic and passable. I think for how goofy One Piece just looks from its design, for it to translate so well into live action is surprising. I think it hits with a lot of the characters. Some of the characters, I really don't like what they did to Luffy. He's not quite the Luffy I know and love. But I think for the most part, all things considered, I would put One Piece in fantastic. You would watch One Piece as a new viewer and understand why people like it. And I think that's important, and it does it in a way that's more digestible. You don't have 8,000 episodes to go through. We'll see if Wit does a One Piece anime remake, but I think for now, I'll put that in fantastic. I'm fine with that.
Wow.
And I think a major key to this was the fact that they had Oda very involved in the production of this show. So with the mangaka's blessing on casting, on the story, because they did have to condense a lot of stuff to make it an exciting season of a show because One Piece is so big and stretched out. No
I get
intended. No pun intended.
Stretched out.
No, she said it.
La Blue Girl. Come on, this tentacles.
No, I'm talking about the fact that Luffy is made of rubber. Get your mind out of the gutter mitts.
It's impossible. I can't do that.
So that combined with all the casting crew, it seems like they were very, excited to adapt the show. They were fans of the show. From the sounds of it, it made a very good adaptation.
That said, they are one chapter away from it looking awful, and I'm quaking in my boots to see how my boy looks.
We did discuss a bit of that in the Waifu Laifu episode. TBD.
And I'm not the biggest fan of One Piece, but I didn't like the live action elements in the same way I didn't like the anime elements of it. So it's hitting a similar stride. So there could be something.
I'm never going to watch One Piece.
No, you're not.
Don't have to, Mitz. We did for you.
Gintama. I assume you guys haven't seen this?
I haven't.
I'd put it as subpar. It was funny. It was self-aware of the fact it hit on those same things, but it's not the same. Not as good. So we can skip over that. Area. Mitsugi. What do you got?
Low budget. Bad. Abysmal.
Abysmal.
And that's so sad because that anime is so cool.
4K.
4K.
There's got to be more than just low budget. What made it good? What made it bad?
Everything. Jesus, man. It's everything from the special effects to the acting to the costumes. Everything is impacted by how low budget that show was. And if you know Iria, it's high sci-fi. It's outer space. It's gadgets. It's flying machines. It's fancy guns. Iria's cool hair. And that anime, that live action, was able to produce none of that. So honestly, that's one of the worst live actions I've ever watched. So I actually showed that at Anime Club one year because I thought it might be okay because Eri is such a cool anime, such a good 6-episode OVA, which is such a great format. Ugh, woof.
Can't believe you didn't vet that.
Yeah, me too.
But the Pillow Anime Club were coming in raw.
I did show them Sailor and the Seven Balls, so they forgave me.
Oh, that's good. Caroline, Erased. I have not seen this one, but I know you've talked about it.
Oh yeah, like I've read the Erased manga. I have seen the anime. Well, I saw the anime first, and then I read the manga, and the manga is much better. But the anime is still one of my favorites. And so I heard that the live action Erased on Netflix was pretty good. So I went ahead. This was years ago, by the way. I went ahead and I watched it, and I was surprised because, well, this is also not a Western adaptation. This is a Japanese adaptation, and it takes elements of the anime and elements of the manga and makes it better. Because with manga, there's only so much you can do, and with the anime, they had to change the ending and they made it shorter. But the live action played true to the story, and it also brought some of the more iconic moments of the anime to life in live action. And what was very cool about it is that it was so accurate. Like, all the costumes were accurate. The kid actors were surprisingly great. And so overall, it made for a really good live action experience. The only gripe that I would have is that they play it a little too close to accuracy, I feel like they could have done a little bit more to give it their own spin, like maybe expand upon a couple other things that wasn't in the manga, and try. Mitsuki, put the penis down.
It's blue balls. See, it's blue balls. I got it. See,
where did you get that from?
This is actually a penis tire cap. One of my coworkers came down and put little blue penises on my motorcycle to plug the tire air. Yeah, it's blue. It's got blue balls. See? Here they are, blue balls.
Oh, God.
See?
Okay.
It's actually an accurate mold of my own penis. You see this?
Is that small, huh?
1-to-1 scale. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got a laugh out of Caroline.
Okay, it was dumb enough that made me laugh. So, yeah, I feel like they could have done a little bit more creatively, especially since a lot of it is 1-to-1. But overall, in the world of live actions, I wouldn't say that it beat One Piece for me, but I would still put it in fantastic.
Okay. I can't refute that, so we'll do it. Let's see. Next up, we have Speed Racer. This is the 2008 film by the Wachowskis. Much aligned and panned upon release, and I think has undergone a bit of a renaissance of people being like, you know what? This film actually fucks and is cool. So I would put it
expecting you to say that.
in at least passable. This is a movie that knows how silly and comedic and cartoonish it is and doesn't shy away from that. So it has this goofy aesthetic while also being razor sharp in its editing, in its races, in its visual design, in its language of how it tells the story. It's, it leans into the fact that it came from an anime and, accepts that and doesn't try to make it too dark and gritty like a lot of adaptations were doing at the time. So I think Speed Racer, I'm not going to call it a good movie, but I would call it a fantastic adaptation.
Me too.
What, the essence of Speed Racer is.
Me too. And Christina Ricci was fucking hot in this.
There we go.
And the racing and this anime fucking slaps, to use an Enzo term. It fucking slaps. Christina Ricci was hot as shit. The racing is fucking cool. It's F-Zero. It's F-Zero with racing. The Speed Racer movie is awesome. It didn't do well.
It would be so nauseating to actually be in those races.
It would be puking my guts everywhere. You had to be an astronaut to do it. But yeah, I thought this live action was super solid. I loved it. It didn't do well, but fuck everybody else. You guys suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't win the Crunchyroll Awards, but we still love it despite it. Like, this is a great...
As long as Jujutsu Kaisen exists, nothing will ever win again.
Next up is Cutie Honey. This is
me.
a film done by Hideaki Anno of
Oh my God.
Evangelion fame, and I would call this one very passable.
I haven't seen it.
This is so silly. It feels so campy and low budget and purposely bad in some of how it's executed. But at the same time, the story, the anime of Cutie Honey is a comedy. It is kind of a joke. It is self-aware on how silly it is and ridiculous it is. And the movie, once again, leans into it and captures the essence of what if we just had a cute girl in practically her underwear the whole time, because that's funny. And it is. And they just get into all these stupid fights with these Power Rangers-esque villains that are over-designed and dressed to the nines with these, I'm saying goofy way too often, absurd outfits. And it just, once again, it captures the essence of what it's taking from, makes it its own. Hideaki Anno has just a sense of, what he loves about the thing, and he captures that in his Godzilla adaptations and with this Cutie Honey one. So I would definitely put this in passable for sure.
Hideaki Anno is a legend. That guy's great.
He is a lot, and I like that about him.
He's a wild man.
Next up, the old school Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh my, the old school one?
The live action one, not the CG remake.
Oh,
that's right. It's not a live action. Oh my God.
Oh, right.
This is Mario and Luigi Mario from New York, the Bronx.
Mario.
Wow.
Fighting the goofy. Why is everything
John Leguizamo?
I don't know what other word. Those big old Koopas are the silliest things to ever exist, I think, in any media franchise ever.
It can't be better than subpar. Listen, I like John Leguizamo. His stand-up is funny. He's got some movies I like, but that movie is not very good. But it's cultishly, hilariously bad. So I would say it's subpar as a movie, but it's epic. But it's legendarily subpar.
Bad. Does it capture any of what Super Mario is? Like, just because they have the name Mario in it.
Probably not.
I
don't know what the fuck they were trying. Listen, Caroline, in that movie Koopa, Bowser is like a white dude with blonde hair, isn't he?
That's
like with like frosted tips.
Yeah. Have you seen
it's got to be abysmal.
No, I haven't.
You know what we're talking about? Oh my goodness.
I'll go look it up.
A picture for you right now.
Listen, we got to have some pride. It has to be an abysmal, I think. I mean, otherwise,
I think you're right.
I think we're going to get made fun of.
Mario Bros. Koopa. That's what you want to look up. Go to images and slowly open your eye. Oh no, we need to type in movie.
It also has a severe lack of Christina Ricci, whom I'm still looking at from Speed Racer. So yeah, I moved on. My hentai was really bad.
What year was this movie?
This is like
90s.
for real. Early 90s. Oh my
God. Okay.
You need to see them moving. That's really, it's a mix of them moving.
That is nightmare fuel. That is so scary. Oh my God. Now why is their head so small and their body so big?
I don't know. I cannot explain that to you.
That looks like it would be a horror movie.
Yeah, I forgot that the Bowser guy has his hands perpetually in like a T-Rex pose because he's a dinosaur.
Why would they make the Koopas like that, but Bowser a human?
You're asking these questions, and I do not have answers for you. We're putting Super Mario Brothers in abysmal.
Talk about not understanding your characters. Like, oh my God.
Let's move on to Way of the House Husband. Have you seen this one, Caroline?
No, I can't talk on this one.
Okay, I saw a little bit of it, and it seemed definitely similar to Midnight Diner. I'd put it in passable. It definitely understood the assignment, and actually took the core crux of the manga, which was, short chapters with very physical humor, and made it 1,000 times better than the anime adaptation. They
really
spun off these whole dramatic segments. They just made this humor and story work within a live action concept, and definitely probably one of my preferred methods of that story. So Way of the House Husband, I haven't seen enough to give it fantastic, but I would say I'd put that in passable.
This vodka drink I'm drinking is passable.
Mm-hmm.
Seltzer
it's
water.
passing through you.
Seltzer water. All natural. No food coloring. Flavoring.
No seed oils.
No seed oils. Fuck. Who do you think you're talking to? And way too much fucking vodka. Whoa. Sorry. Keep going.
Let's see. Alice in Borderland.
Running out of time. Pick your favorite.
Yeah. The
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Fantastic, maybe passable. Dragon Ball Evolution. Abysmal.
Maybe
the worst.
Maybe the worst ever. Yeah.
Battle Angel Alita. Passable.
Passable. Yeah.
We're going too fast.
Oh, we're running out of time. I took
Old Boy is fantastic. That's the best one on the list for sure.
That's what I've heard.
That's the tier above fantastic. That's God tier.
That's an Oscar-winning movie, probably.
Can we touch on Avatar, please? Because I would like a word in. Avatar, the movie from years ago, abysmal. Abysmal as a movie. Abysmal as a as a live-action adaptation. Abysmal as everything. Abysmal. The show did not like. I watched one episode for this discussion and against my will because I knew I wasn't going to like it. There are certain things that are definitely better than the movie, but as the writing is so bad and they butchered a lot of the characters.
So much exposition.
It made so much changes, exposition. They are hell-bent on not letting anything cook. They're like, here's Azula, even though you don't see her till season 3. We're going to change Aang's backstory. We're going to give it to you up front as well. Let's do Cave of Two Lovers a season early. Let's give Iroh his backstory early. They are trying to do everything possible to not let anything breathe. And they should have just expanded on the emotional notes that they very well could have, because there's a lot in the original show that they could have expanded on so well, and everything else looks decent, the characters look decent, the special effects look decent, but the writing is crap.
It was really disappointing. I watched one episode of it too.
Movie's abysmal, the show can be subpar.
Yeah, that's where I would put it. Appa looked all right.
Edge of Tomorrow is awesome. The movie's good, passable.
Yeah.
Or fantastic. It's good.
I'd actually put it fantastic.
It's fucking good. I've seen it multiple times.
It's worth watching. Yeah. And the best part is a lot of people watch it and they're like, I didn't even know it was an adaptation of a manga. That's a good sign when people are like, oh, this is awesome and stands on its own.
Now the Death Note live action. Are we talking about the Netflix live action?
Whichever one you wanted and had strongest opinions on.
Okay, because I remember seeing the live action in Japanese, and I remember it being somewhat decent, but it's been so long that I can't say for certain. The Netflix Death Note, again, with not understanding your characters and just going willy-nilly. I wouldn't say it was terrible, because I did enjoy some parts of it. I'm going to put it in subpar, even though some people will definitely say abysmal.
My face is numb.
Ping Pong, actually pretty good adaptation. Live action, definitely passable, at least captures some of the best character moments, some of the best matches, and surprisingly, pretty good. You don't need Yuasa's crazy visuals to make a good ping pong movie, and I'd put that one definitely in passable as well.
Based.
Yay. We can save the other part of this discussion for another time.
Can I just say...
What's happened?
Can I just say, Old Boy is on Netflix right now, and it's one of the best movies I've ever seen, and it is...
I'm planning on watching it.
It is insanely fucked up. So just brace yourself, people. But the Old Boy live action is one of the most shell-shocking movies you'll watch in your whole life, probably, but it is excellent. So just give that a shot. It's on Netflix. It's definitely worth watching. But insanely fucked up. There's no way around it.
I'm sorry, Captain Avatar. I have not seen Ghost in the Shell. Have either of you guys seen that live action?
I have seen it.
No.
Where are we putting it?
What the fuck is the lady's name? I can't remember the bitches. What is her name? Oh.
Scarlett Johansson.
Johansson's nippleless breasts. Yes. She does the scene. She does the scene where she dives off the building at the beginning, like in her suit, and she has no nipples. Considering how bad some of this shit is, probably passable.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
That's
I really wish we could have gotten a little bit.
I'm sorry.
What was that at the end?
I gotta pee. Get us out of here.
A pretty even distribution between all the tiers, though.
I'd say that was a pretty good list.
Not all live actions are awful.
No, they're
What's the
not.
question?
All right, in-show weekly trivia question. What track and field event was the vice president's, or was it vice principal's, specialty in the anime The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You? What is her specialty? And we'll give you the answer after the news break.
Hey, Anime Addicts, it's Mitsugi. You guessed it. It's time for your anime news break, starting off with a big one. One Punch Man Season 3. Well, I think it was already previously announced, but they have announced some new castings for the project. So, of course, the series composition is going to be Tomohiko Suzuki of Frieren, so that's pretty big. Character designer Chikashi Kubota of One Punch Man, so they are retaining some of their previously, involved staff. Shinjiro Kuroda of Shoujo no Virgin Road is going to be working on the key animation. That's some new staff. New staff involved with the third season. There's also other ones as well, more animators, etc. JC staff is going to be retaining the work here of season 3. The first season was done by Madhouse in 2015. The second season was JC staff in 2019, as you recall, pretty much no one liked. The second season of One Punch Man. So hopefully this third season, which I don't really see a release date here, but hopefully it will be an improvement over the second season. Next up, another new anime, Honey Lemon Soda, is getting a TV anime. It's a manga. Director Hiroshi Nishikiori of Trinity 7 and a certain Toaru Majutsu no Index. JC Staff also is going to be the studio on this, so JC Staff just doing tons of stuff. The synopsis is about a 15-year-old named Uka. Middle school was the toughest experience that she lived through. She was dubbed Rocky due to always freezing up in front of other people and was endlessly bullied. Now in high school, she has a chance to a fresh start and to improve herself, but during her first week, she accidentally is soaked in juice by her classmate Kai, a flashy guy with lemon-colored hair, and based on the cover, they're going to hold hands and have a romance, but probably never kiss or anything. So look out for Honey Lemon Soda coming out probably sometime this year. Next up in business news, Bandai Namco Filmworks acquires animation studio 8-Bit as a subsidiary. So production and planning company Bandai Namco Filmworks on Friday did acquire 8-Bit as a wholly owned subsidiary. This Tokyo-based animation studio will become part of Bandai Namco's group effective on April 1st. So 8-Bit has done quite some good stuff lately, but is probably not one of the more predominant anime studios. The 8-Bit confirmed the retention of its current management structure, which is good. We probably won't have a lot of layoffs. Bandai Namco has expressed its strategic rationale for integrating 8-Bit into the group, aiming to foster continued growth of its flagship IP and align the studio's production capabilities more with the company's core operations. So if you're a fan of business news or Bandai Namco, it has strengthened its animation production subsidiary, and it is going to be absorbing 8-Bit Studios. Next up, Makoto Shinkai takes to Twitter or X or whatever the fuck you want to call it to make comments on anime producer Koichiro Ito's arrest. So he said that he was shocked to see the news about the arrest of a person involved in the production of his movies. First and foremost, he would like to express sympathies, etc., etc. If you want to go look online at the whole quote, please do. It looks like, according to the authorities, Ito asked a girl for pictures back in 2021 with full knowledge that the girl was a minor. So, yikes. Police said that Ito's alleged crime was discovered as part of a different prostitution investigation. They're investigating multiple things related to Ito currently. So, looks like that Koichiro Ito's career is probably over and may end up in jail. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. And now, time to get back to the podcast.
My friends are annoyed because they think I have forgotten their actual names. I just call them my senpais and kohais now.
I threw a tennis ball at my cat. I was so caught up in the moment and thought maybe I could capture her, and then we could go on adventures together.
I purchased a motorcycle just so I could pretend I was Onizuka.
I answered the phone with Moshi Moshi.
My poor cat.
I may actually have a problem.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Hello, I'm Mandy from the Anime Addicts Anonymous. Do any of these symptoms sound familiar to you? Do you have 8,572 waifus? Do you struggle with having the theme song to Attack on Titan stuck in your head, even though Jaeger is the only word you know? Then you may be experiencing anime addiction. If you are experiencing anime addiction, then you should visit our website, aapodcast.com. At Anime Addicts Anonymous, we have dedicated ourselves to making your anime addiction worse. Worse! Yes, worse. Because the real world just plain sucks. So many resources await you. For just $5 a month, you will have unlimited access to our Hobby Addicts episodes. You will also have access to our hentai episodes, where you can watch a hentai along with us and hear our commentary. Give our after party episodes a listen, where you can hear us struggle to talk about our boring lives outside of anime. That $5 will go to helping us spread anime addiction throughout the world. Yes, it is time for you to make your anime addiction worse.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. I wish I knew the words to this song. Chimeteru. Well, when we left you, we had an intro trivia question for you. What track and field event was the vice principal's specialty in the anime? The 100 girlfriends are really blah 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 blah. Really, the 6 girlfriends. Blah 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 blah. The answer is shot put. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, shot put. You heard it here. I have no idea why. It makes no sense. That's like amongst the most random things I've ever heard from an anime. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
Somebody in track and field has a specialty in shot put.
Well, that the old lady who's the vice principal has a shot put. I mean, all she does in that show is run really fast, so I would have thought it'd be like 100-meter dash.
Well, yeah,
okay,
but she also
put.
does toss a bouquet extremely far.
Oh, right, of course.
That's why she's in shot put.
Time for mailbags.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime. Anime. Anime.
Mailbag. Bag. If you want to leave a mailbag.
I remembered to dance this week.
Yeah.
Sorry. Proceed.
I don't dance. I never have.
That's okay.
I don't even know how to dance. Raggedy Doctor writes, oh, by the way, if you want to leave a mailbag, aapodcast.com. This is not hard. aapodcast.com. We got this. We can do it. /mailbag. And you'll go right to the mailbag page. Let me just test it, make sure it still works. aapodcast /mailbag. I'm pretending like I'm at work, which is where you are right now. Mailbag. Does it work? Oh my God, it works. Unbelievable. Oh, wow. I'm going to write a mailbag.
Amazing.
You should make it a hentai mailbag because we could use some more of those.
Well, yeah. Yes, exactly. Raggedy Doctor wrote a mailbag. He said, we get a lot of live action adaptations of anime of, let's say, varying quality, but we very rarely get the inverse. What live action American/Western production would you like to see adapted into an anime? Mason, I believe you were the first one to answer this question on our document, so why don't you answer first?
Yeah, so shows I put on the list is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think that's a pretty fun series that would work well in the anime sphere. The series Lost, which is something I've never seen. But I just want anime to have more of those intense, not not like Death Game kind of stuff, but those intense dramas of a bunch of people are trapped in the whatever and have to survive and do all that kind of stuff. I just want to bring
It
more
would
of
be
that
like
back.
summertime rendering a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that would be cool.
Exactly. And a series I loved as a kid and actually did get a cartoon adaptation, but I want to see it animated from an anime style, is Redwall, which is a classic series by Brian Jacques, which had all these like mouse and rodents and badgers and just woodland critters living in this abbey and living in the little civilization and getting into fights with snakes and weasels and all sorts of vermin. Oh, that would be so cool. Just animals doing animal stuff, but they're not quite animals. And it was fun. So I want to see that. Please. Thank you. What do you guys have?
Caroline, how about you?
I kind of struggled to answer the question, actually, because I don't watch a ton of Western live action shows other than like reality TV and HGTV and that kind of stuff. But I did not watch the Percy Jackson live action series. However, after hearing a lot of the criticisms of that and being a fan of the books, I think it would do a lot better as an animation than a live action. I think it would do pretty well as an anime.
There's only one option for me in the whole world, and that is Wipeout, the TV show.
I feel like it would be a lot like Keijo, just less boobs and butts. Unless
not
you
necessarily.
want to make a Wipeout Keijo crossover.
Let's not.
That would be pretty fun.
That's exactly right. Now, let's not be too, hasty. a Keijo themed Wipeout, perfection. Boy, this is gonna get a hentai real quick. Let's just say.
Okay, I'll give you 1 minute to be hentai if you want. Then I won't say anything.
Let's just say when big-breasted, big-assed women fall into water repeatedly and also mud, and they emerge from said source of water or mud, magic happens on national television, and your ratings explode, much like a lot of men's penises. There you go. That was hentai. Was that hentai enough for you?
Actually, you were pretty tame there.
Really?
Don't go anymore.
All right.
You lost your privilege. Let's see.
Listen,
Gohan Trunk Fan says Prison Break. What were we going to say, Mitz?
After a long night of drinking and or smoking, nothing beats falling asleep to watching people get smashed by obstacles that are designed to be impossible. So, Wipeout is fucking hilarious. That shit's coming back, too.
No,
I mean, LeVar Burton in the chat says it.
I feel
MXC.
pain.
Why watch Wipeout when you have MXC?
It's not on Netflix.
Show.
I feel pain watching Wipeout. You know, I can only imagine the amount of concussions, the amount of of brains and literal whiplashes that you get from that. I can't comfortably watch that show.
God damn it, Twitch! MXC is not on Netflix.
It's so much better. It's worth the pain.
But
of
I can't watch
some
it.
480p rips. No, you can't. If there's, it's worth the effort, Mitz. It's
God damn it! Stop it.
It's actually funny.
The Twitch now is just trolling me. All right, let's move on. Did we all answer?
Let's do our review for today.
Oh my god, this review is why I'm drinking vodka.
Okay, you could be a little less dramatic, Mitz. It's not that bad.
I'm going to apply. Just be warned. This is a warning. You know what? It's a spoiler alert.
Spoilers are coming.
So this is a spoiler for me, not for the show. I am going to apply hilarious real world logic to this anime. It is going to be
don't.
It is going to be amazing. Oh, it's going to be the anime is so boring. What the fuck are you going to talk about? All they do is talk about kissing for 12 episodes.
What anime are we reviewing today, Carol?
We are reviewing the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. This was a fall 2023 anime. It was passed on a listener choice, and you can watch it on Crunchyroll. So here's the general synopsis. Rentaro Aijo has it all. Looks, intelligence, athletic skill, and popularity with peers and mentors alike. Unfortunately, by the end of middle school, he has suffered 100 rejections in a row. Suddenly, he meets the god of love, and due to a clerical error, he is told he will meet 100 soulmates in high school. On the first day of school, he meets 2 of these soulmates, who both confess to him. But he finds out that if he rejects a soulmate, she will die in an accident. As his girlfriend count grows, he is dedicated to make them all happy, lest they perish tragically. Directed by Sato Hikaru. I think this is his first actual directing credit of a show, which is interesting. Done by Biburi Animation Studios, and it's based off a manga. I guess I'll do my expectations first because it was on my impressions list originally, although it was actually as a backup, so not officially on my impressions list. But I was so curious about it that I decided to watch a few episodes of it anyway. And I thought it was indeed stupid and trashy, but funny and entertaining. I probably would have passed the show in a weaker season, so I was pretty glad it was picked for listener choice. So, Mitsugi, what were you expecting going into this?
Breasts.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, to be honest, how the fuck do I know? You showed me one episode at our house, and it was just two girls drooling over this guy. A harem. That's what I expected. A harem. But
more than a harem. Basically, sister wives.
Well, it's whatever you want it to be, but I expected it to be good also because it does have good reviews online, so, I do care about that stuff. Listen, when 90,000 people all get in the same room and have a debate about how good a show is, and they decide that it's a 7.8, that means that it's pretty good. One person sits in a room and they decide, well, that could just be a bad opinion. So honestly, yeah, I expected it to be pretty good. And I would just say real quick that Hakari is best girl. The first and the best. Mm-hmm.
I think we have to all establish who our best girls are at some point during this review.
Let's do it.
But I'll do mine later. Mason.
Yeah, similar to Mitz. I heard generally good acclaim about it. I assumed it would be a bit of an absurd comedy, a parody of the harem genre, and people tended to be pretty positive on it. So I came in with high expectations.
Wow. High.
High. Wow.
I mean, high at least for a comedy romance in anime, which, is very subjective. It's not for everyone. So reserved, but high expectations.
All right. Well, let's go into our recommendation territory here. I will go first. And so I would recommend this show because, as I said it before, it's fun trash. It pokes fun. It pokes a lot of fun at harem shows, while, in my opinion, delivering on well-done visual comedy. Unfortunately, since all the girlfriends are blueprints of a specific trope, none of them are good enough to be one whole waifu for me. But I guess since there will be 100 of them, that won't be a problem. There is plenty of WTF moments for me, especially towards the end. But it was also nice to see this group of soon-to-be sister wives love each other almost as much as they love Rentaro. So if nothing else, it's a great choice for an anime watch party / drinking game. And if you like anime comedies, then this is pretty strong, especially if you don't mind a whole lot of boobs, butts, and sexual jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Nice.
Mitsugi, would you like to follow through on that?
Yeah, I don't really know how to answer this question. This anime is dumb. It's really dumb. Nothing makes sense. It's not supposed to. It's a parody. This is one of those anime where if you go on the Discord and you say anything negative about it, fans of the anime will just say, it's a parody. Like anything's, whatever you want is good. I mean, it's a little more ecchi than you might think, actually. It gets pretty wild. I mean, complete with girls like slipping into each other's beds at night and just making out like vigorously. Like, that's all in here. If you want to watch two high school girls just make out, I mean, that's in here. It is trash, but like the question is, how trashy is it? Because there's nothing worse than just like lukewarm trash. Because then you're just watching, like, wasting your time. Well,
we'll get into how trashy it is in spoiler territory.
You need steaming hot, smelly, repugnant trash. Do I have a you know what? Wait, do I have a dumpster drop? Our soundboard is such a disaster. I can't find anything on this fucking soundboard. I'll find it eventually. But I might recommend it for people who want to watch trash and just don't expect too much. I mean, as far as like the relationships, it doesn't get very far, but it's enjoyable enough. It's easy to watch, and it's really only meant for one kind of audience. So yeah, I mean, I might recommend it for people that are looking for some fucking non-serious trash that you can eat with your Reese's Puffs. Mason?
I'm not going to say the show is smart, but I would say it definitely knows what it's doing and goes about its method of comedy in a very intelligent way that I found pretty good, and I would recommend the show. I think it does all these things that Mitsugi says in a clever way that aids into the comedy. It's not just girls are making out, so you're watching it for that kind of libido kick. No, it's for the sake of comedy. It is a parody, but I think a much better one. It's kind of funny that we are reviewing the show a week after The Eminence in Shadow, a show that I thought had potential, but didn't commit to being the parody that I wanted. And that's kind of what this show delivered for me. It took all the tropes and, faults of the harem genre and dove headfirst and committed to it in the most bombastic, absurd way while, it still caters to people who like the genre, what it will do. I think this season the series won't continue to be as invigorating in future seasons because they're going to run out of room. There's only so much of a cast you can handle. But I thought season 1 of this was pretty darn good, and I would definitely recommend it. So, not for everyone, for sure. But I think if you've seen enough harems, there's something to appreciate with 100-Girlfriend. So, yeah, watch it.
Spoiler?
Let's get into spoilers.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god!
All right. So I want to expand upon my comment about what the cons of the girlfriends. So none of them are like great for me. There's not one I can point to and say, "Oh yeah, that's my girl. I love her so much on my waifu list," which is you would expect at least one of these girls to land on your waifu list considering there's right now 6 of them and there's going to be 100 of them. But if the 6 are following the same blueprint of a trope trend, then I kind of doubt any of them is going to actually stick it for me. Like everyone has like a potential to be an annoyance. Some more than others. For example, I think my top waifu in this show, probably not on my overall list, would be Shizuka, even though her whole
she's a fucking child.
But she's so cute.
She's moe though.
So?
Okay. I mean,
you have to account that there will be 100 girlfriends, so they need to. There's going to be a girl for every person.
Yeah, every
the mom, the lolly, the smart, the brainiac, the sports girl, all the people they tease at the end. They are going to tap into every single
kink
fetish, and it will be there. So you have to acknowledge that all of them aren't going to be for you. So I agree with you, Caroline, because they are so to the trope. It makes them feel kind of lackluster as characters, like individuals. They're really not to them because we've seen them 1,000 times. So I didn't mind that they were so tropey because it lent to the comedy that they were there to do. And I think it all comes down to, and the optimistic message of the show is that Rentaro loves them all. There isn't a quote unquote right girl that society deems is, well, that's the correct person you should love because she's the neighborhood sweetheart or the tsundere best friend. Like all these loves are equal, whether you like the lolly, the milf, the sports girl, the brainiac, the whoever. It's all kosher and good, and I think there's something to be said for how equally he sincerely loves them all. And Rentaro's like good boy status elevates all the girls up, a rising tide, sort of ship thing. So
I guess that means like my con is actually a pro, because if there was one actual great waifu here, then it would just follow the same kind of trend with a lot of other harems, that there's always there's the girl and then there's the side girls.
There's the rest.
It's hot.
That's my case at least.
Yeah. Just to finish up on my thought, because honestly, like the whole Shizuka thing with like typing out her words, you not even typing out her words, but getting quotations from a specific book so that she can talk is just so freaking ridiculous and stupid and annoying sometimes. Sometimes it's funny. A lot of times it's annoying though. That I don't like that aspect of her, but I do find her cute, and I do find that I feel like with Shizuka and Rentaro, they actually have interactions that make it make sense that they would be in love with each other. The other girls, it feels like they are hypnotized to love Rentaro, which is...
God's demanded.
Yeah, God said, you are soulmate. You must love this person even though there's nothing particularly special about him. Yeah. Sometimes it just feels like they're hypnotized and that it's kind of like a cult going on here.
Well, that wouldn't be unusual for hentai. So there's a lot of Simon, Seishito. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of hypnotism hentais out there.
Yeah, but it's not a thing here. It's not supposed to be hypnotism. They're supposed to be soulmates at birth.
Oh, come on.
It feels so predestined.
That's what the God of Love said, Mitz.
This anime literally was a guy... 30 years later, a mangaka was like, I really like Slam Dunk, so I'm going to straight up lift the idea of a guy having 30 girlfriends that all rejected him straight from Slam Dunk, which is, the main character from Slam Dunk's whole thing. Dunk? What's that?
That's a thing in Slam Dunk.
100%. Yep.
Okay, well, I don't think Slam Dunk created the idea of harems, so that's probably
No, it didn't. It's not about romance, but, I forgot my point. I don't know.
It's somewhere within that 6 shots of vodka that you had.
It could be 6, it could be 7. Who's to say? It could be 5. I don't know, but it's wild no matter what it is.
I agree with you, Caroline, that with some of the girls just kind of falling for him because it was so like preordained and commanded by the gods, it does cheapen it a bit. That said, though, I could argue that's part of the funny. We know that they're going to fall in love. So it happened instantly and be like, oh, shoot, how is this going to work? And the show definitely followed. I was very invested in episode 9 of this show. That was, to me, going to be the biggest one. Doesn't matter what it was, but from the onset, I was like, I'm excited for episode 9. Because in all, the format of the show was always introduce a girl kind of solitary by herself with Rentaro, and then have an episode where they all come together and see how she interacts with her new clan that she's being
welcome my new girlfriend, and it's increasingly like filled with anxiety every single time. That's
so episode 1, he meets Hikari and Kurane. Episode 2 is them getting together. Episode 3, he meets Shizuka. Episode 4 is Shizuka comes into the fold. Episode 5, he meets Nano. Episode 6 is her coming into the fold. Episode 7, he meets Kusuri. Episode 8 is her coming into the fold. So I was like, okay, those are the 5 girls from the opening. Now there's no more girls to be introduced. Now what's going to happen with the show episode 9? That's where we're going to have to break away. And so that's where I was like, okay, we're going to buck the formula. We're going to freshen things up. And I think the show twisted my expectations by cleverly revealing not its whole hand in the opening and making that part of the joke and part of the gag. And I think, I could argue that the 6 girls edition maybe didn't go down as smooth as the others. It was part of the comedy, and I think it worked well.
You look so pained, Mitz.
I'm intoxicated, but listen, I'm just going to lay it out for you the best I can. The anime is a parody, I get it. I've seen so many fucking shows just like this. It's not unique at all. I mean, clear back to Love Hina. This has been done 3,000 times in the last 30 years. I understand the anime is not serious. It isn't meant to be serious. Blah, blah, blah. So let's just, all the listeners can just take their comments and their complaints and just stick them on a shelf because I fucking get it. Okay? But the anime just misses out on a lot of interesting things that it could do. There's so many wild and interesting things that you could discuss that pertain to having 5 girlfriends, and I think, or 6, or whatever, and I think it's time we do that. For example, where's the jealousy?
It was there. I actually thought it did a good job with it.
Bullshit.
I would have hated...
when Hikari goes in Hikaru's bed.
If this show went full on with the jealousy, and it's just a cat fight between 5 or 6 girls.
But that's what it would
the
be.
entire time.
But that's what
that
it would be.
would be so annoying and exhausting.
How about the money? Where's he going to come up with all the money? The time?
Well, he will have 100 girlfriends who can also work, and a MILF who's stinking rich.
Oh my God, am I really going to have a debate about why a man doesn't have the time?
Because you make so many crazy comments that don't make any sense when we're talking about.
Listen, talking about another harem show is kind of boring. It's just another harem.
Another harem show.
It is.
It's not just another one trying to take it seriously.
It kind of is.
Girlfriends. No, it's so tongue-in-cheek about it.
Would you like to talk about the pedophilia that happened at the end of it?
Okay,
What
like
pedophilia?
you've ever really cared that much about
16,
pedophilia.
that's
You
of
loved harem in the labyrinth or whatever that was. And they had a literal 12-year-old.
The mom was
raped,
28.
basically.
I'm just trying to find something different. The mom's 28. He's 16. That's in Japan. That's probably legal, but it ain't legal anywhere else.
So I'm not saying it's a great look, but I'm saying it's part of the love is love. It's fine for them. And so what's the deal? What's your issue with it? I get that
I don't have an issue. It's just the same shit over and over. I was just saying it'd be interesting if they took another angle with it. How are you going to have time for 100 women? You're going to see one of them every 3 months? Well, they're going to move on. Where's the money? You going to have the money for 100 dates? No. You're a high schooler. You have no money.
It's not meant to be taken seriously, Mitz.
I understand that, but like
But why do you take it seriously then?
Because I've been watching anime for 20 years longer than you have, and I watched Love Hina in 1995. That's the only reason. I've seen this anime 900 times. Happy Lesson, I put it on the Discord. It's the same fucking show. It's 9 girls that are all the exact same cliche, that are all in love with the guy for no fucking reason. And then this anime is a little more ecchi. The Love Hina didn't have makeout sessions and moms like alluding like, I'm going to do a pseudo sex scene that's really a back rub. This anime's fine. I'm just saying like, I would like them to maybe do something different with the genre for once. It's not really realistic.
They're not going in with the expectation that the mass audience have seen 20 years of harem shows.
Well, they're making fun of those harem
have.
shows. I think it's stood aside and made its own thing by showing how absurd a harem show is. It's not a Love Hina because it's not about the romance. It's about how these characters can be used for comedy.
Okay.
I get it. The point is it is impractical, and that's what he's going to have to overcome. And I think that's going to be where more of the comedy comes from.
No, actually, I think the show is all these like girls that are drooling sycophants that will all quickly collapse the minute they leave high school when they need to be like supported in a way that's more like the more than just give me a kiss. And then they're all like,
they're soulmates. I think they're kind of stuck.
I highly doubt it. And they're never going to get to 100 either. But the minute
I even looked up the Wikipedia. I think in the manga they've only gotten into the 20s at this point.
20s? How do they even listen? Let's make this interesting. This is a problem that exists even inside the manga. Now you have one character appearing every like 3 fucking volumes. It's the same as real life. Now you're only going out on a date with some girl every 3 months because it's not enough pages in the manga for all 20 of them. So now you're like trying to juggle the time between the time and the money, which is your pages and your ink, between 20 people, and all of a sudden Hakari's only showing up once every fucking 3 volumes.
Well, luckily, we don't have that problem in the anime yet. We'll get there.
Yeah, I think we'll have that issue, but I think what we have to judge right now is how the show juggles 5 to 6 girlfriends, and I think it does a good job. I think they integrate with each other in an amusing way. It's not the most clever thing ever, but I think in a show with conversational and tangible gods and ghosts and chemistry sets that lets people have Dr. Octopus-esque hair powers, like the fact that there's 5 girlfriends and 1 boyfriend.
6.
I can digest that.
There's 6 of them.
We haven't seen how she mixes in yet, though. We'll see.
Yeah, she could
hasn't
just
proven
be
herself.
she could just be the person funding everything.
Oh, this anime is so fucking dumb. She's gonna fit in however they want to. It doesn't have to be realistic.
You're the one to talk. You've been talking about realism this entire time.
Well, never mind. I have more experience with this situation than you might realize. And
okay, so I think the worst one of the group had to be Kusuri, the the chemist girl.
Agree.
Just
she's the last.
Like if Shizuka's Moe, this girl is a literal physical 8-year-old. But
D tier.
Technically 17, 18 years old.
Trash tier.
So and also her constant crying over having no friends and being abandoned and all that stuff. Meanwhile, all of it's because she keeps on drugging people against their will. And she's like, "Oh, I guess I can't be a chemist anymore." Like, no, be a chemist. You're doing some physically impossible things with chemistry. Just don't drug people against their will. It's that simple. So yeah,
okay.
She was the worst.
This anime's got a second season. Its second season's been greenlit.
Yeah. Oh. I'm not surprised.
This anime is literally gonna collapse upon itself like a neutron star, like every other real life situation with this many people. I'm interested
to see how that goes.
How will you even have the time in an episode to have dialogue for 12 people when they're all standing on the roof of the school? They're like, "Where is all the school?"
I can't wait to see the 100 girlfriends just crowding this rooftop.
Yeah, there's going to be a teacher, and he's going to be like, "Hey, listen, scene opens, bing, bong, bing, bong. Okay, class, please open your books to page 16. This is where we left off last week. There's no one in there. The classroom's empty. Where the fuck is everybody? Oh, we're all on the roof making out with each other because Rintaro's up there, and he's such a catch. That's exactly.
You know what?
That's what's going to happen.
I'm sticking to it. I think Rintaro is the glue of this entire thing. He's so kind, thoughtful, genuine, trusting. He's decisive. He puts an effort. Like, he is a model boyfriend in such an absurd way that you believe that he can do it. We all know it's not going to work.
He's a fucking player.
The show can never have 101 characters to manage. That is impossible. And I think that's the appeal of seeing when is this ship going to break down.
Yeah.
But enjoy the ride while it can.
Rintaro is a fucking player. He's all talk. He has nothing to offer. Nothing to offer.
He's putting in the grind. He's reading their books. He's searching for the clovers. He's doing the homework. He's doing everything.
He's fighting against physics breaking chemistry.
The minute that Rintaro enters something other than high school, he's gonna collapse like a neutron star. It's gonna be hilarious. A black hole.
I think I know where the show is going to end.
The child support.
You know how difficult it was, like a whole episode's worth of difficulty just to figure out who would get the first kiss. I think the show, and they managed to get around that by making it technically both of the girls at the time got the first kiss. But at some point, you're going to have an issue where we're probably going to have at least 30 girlfriends by the time they even think about making this sexual. The war that would occur to get into Rentaro's pants first, that is what's going to end the show because all the girls would be actually dead.
That's another thing.
It'll be a slaughter.
It would be a slaughter.
In a show where everybody is so sexually charged by the gods of love, in quotes, I'm doing air quotes right now for people listening, where we have a Resident Evil parody, which I did appreciate, to like attack for kisses. So much so that they're willing to just make out with each other, which is blatant fan service. I thought
that was really funny though.
it wasn't unfunny. It was good. But like, how have they not fucked at this point? And how will he have the semen for 20 girls? He's going to be shooting blanks by the fourth girl. He doesn't have the sex drive for 20 people. Bro, you are fucked. You are not going to... You are literally you are fucked, but you will not be able to fire enough ammunition for 20 girls. I promise. You're going to get to about the fourth girl, and your dick's either going to be so raw and chafed that you can't handle it, or you will have no sex drive left, or you will be firing air out of your penis. That's all that... It's the truth. I'm just saying. I'm just applying real life to the anime. That is how it will be. I'm just saying.
You know what I could have wanted in this show is an example of one of the girlfriends actually dying. Because they say,
what?
If you reject a girlfriend, they will die. And I'm like curious. I'm like, how would that work? Should we scare, like, because Rentaro is just going on with this random god saying, But what if he got introduced to, like, what if he already had a girlfriend at one point, so he didn't want to add another one to the fold, but she was also, like, the most perfect girlfriend, to be honest, but he didn't want to break the first girlfriend's heart. So he rejects her, and then we see this beautiful being just wipe out of existence, and I want to see how it's done, and I want him to realize, holy moly, this is real. I cannot let this happen again. But he missed out on his one true perfect girl.
Why do you want to kill little children?
I don't want to kill little children. I just want to explore all the avenues. That's all.
Can we just rank the girls?
Can you imagine the emotional turmoil Rentaro would be under?
Listen,
I think he's already under that, and I think that would cheapen his love, because then you would feel like, does he really love this girl, or is he just playing along so she doesn't get murked?
Isn't that what he's doing already?
No, I think he genuinely loves them.
Listen,
well, he would have chosen just Hakari or just Inda if he had the opportunity. He didn't want to do both of them.
Yeah, but
the God of Love told him,
the
like, you have
pendulum
to.
is above their head, and they're about to get. See, I think he knows it, and he doesn't need to see it. Though I do agree with you. It would be interesting to see how that dynamic impacts not just him, but the whole cavalcade of women who are in his wake.
Captain Avatar says in the chat that I want meaning me, wants a scene from another for one of the girlfriends.
Pick your girl. Which girl is it? Which girl is it?
It's gonna be Kusuri, obviously.
All
even
right,
the mom, even the MILF, I don't mind her as much as Kusuri.
Okay,
with
so
her diapers. Oh my god. They gave her the pens. Why? That's just so gross.
This anime doesn't offer much, so let's just rank the girls. That's all anybody does when they watch this fucking anime is rank the girls.
I'm okay with that.
So, all right, who's your worst ranked girl? You have pink-haired mom, MILF bitch, pedophile. You have pink-haired daughter of pink-haired wife, MILF bitch, pedophile. You have lowly science girl, Kusuri. Lowly library girl, Shizuka, who, by the way, her name means silence, which is the dumbest shit on earth.
All of the names are play on words for their trope.
Yep, they are. Hakari, Hahari means mother. Haha means mother.
That is hilarious. I'm
Inda,
so glad they did that.
You have flat-chested Inda Tsundere. You have Nano, who's the hot, big-titted, blonde, white-haired smart girl, and you have
basically
the pink
robot though.
So who's the last rank? Let's hear it.
Okay, so let me go first, and then we'll do it for each of us. So at the bottom, obviously, Kusuri. Then 5th place, I'm going to put Hahari, because that's really weird.
What? Oh, I guess the mother?
Yeah, the mother.
She should be in jail. Yeah.
I think
Mitch thought you said Hakari. He about blew up.
But like, taking back everything, I think it's very funny, but it is weird. And it was a really great reveal.
Way worse.
It was a great reveal.
It's fucking bizarre, is what it is.
It's bizarre.
It's funny. It's fitting, and it hid it in its back pocket. We saw 5 girls the whole time. We thought that was the full cast, and for a 6th to come and not just be that, but so problematic in so many fronts.
Next up is Nano, because I think she's way too robotic, and it is funny, but not as a waifu.
She can fuck like a queen.
I'm sure she can.
She definitely can.
Next up, Karane, Inda Karane, because she's also funny, but she's a little too tsundere. Next up, Hakari, because her sexuality is so excessive.
You're gonna put Shizuka first.
Excessive. And Shizuka, because I don't know, I just like her.
You already knew that. She said she was.
I said it already. You can't remember because of the vodka, but I just think she's cute and she's wholesome, innocent. She was the first one to see his dong, even though she definitely did not want to, and I like her.
All right, Mason, you're up.
Pretty similar. I mean, I think I just don't like. I think this defeats the point of the show. I think this is none of these are characters.
Mason.
None of these are characters.
Oh my god!
Let
They
loose
are
a
all
little.
just tropes. So I mean,
Tell
I
us-
could rank
They
them
are
how
tropes, that's
comedy
true.
is used.
All right, go ahead. If that's all that we're gonna get.
That's all
from
you're
you
gonna
is
get
their
out of me.
comedy
Mitch, what do you
Okay,
think?
I got this. Kusuri is last because she's a fucking loli.
And you're not even gonna mention the diaper part.
Lowly.
No, I don't need to. Whatever. It's whatever.
But what about aged up Kusuri, like actual age Kusuri.
Well, but she's really a little kid.
No,
right?
she's not.
No, like she's
Which way does
really
it go?
the older
Which
version.
way does it go?
physically 8, but she's actually 17, and you see that occasionally. That she.
I don't know. I'm still going
17.
Kusuri's last. She's just like
Okay.
this is weird.
You're not
I don't
wrong,
fucking
but
know.
Yeah.
Shizuka's next. She's a fucking child. She looks like a little
She's
baby.
16.
She's
but
got
she
some
just
fucked up.
looks young.
She's got some fucked up trauma. Is what she has. Something's wrong with her.
Yeah,
she's
is really
red flags from the beginning.
Just funny seeing her stranded at the island of the water park.
Hahari is next because as a 38-year-old, I would smash that so many times a night. But she's also banging a 16-year-old, and she's just weird. She got some.
Oh my God.
She's 29. She got some
We
screws
haven't even
loose.
mentioned the fact that she got artificially inseminated at 13
Yeah,
with a
hello?
dying boy's semen.
Hello, it's fucked up.
I mean,
That
This lady's got some fucking shit
That-
going on.
Even more so than the fact that she wants to bang a 15-year-old. That just,
Listen,
that
she has-
just made me.
She has
sick.
big
it
hair.
makes sense that she's attracted to Rentaro because her love was her age when he was passing away. So she held that image in her
Listen.
mind. That's the age she has feelings for.
I appreciate your
I think you're
optimism,
making a
but
case here.
I'm trying to give it.
I appreciate the optimism, but her taste is actually younger than Rentaro. He's old for her. He's 16. She's aiming for 13, so we're gonna put her
I mean,
third.
She wasn't older than her boyfriend when he died, but the fact that did his parents agree to let this happen?
I don't know.
Because I
Listen.
think you need that.
I'm not done yet.
Listen,
Listen,
he was about to die. They're giving him one.
I'm
last
almost
Hail
done.
Mary.
I'm almost done. Okay.
Okay.
Nano is third. She's arguably the hottest of the group. She's very stacked.
Gives Comey vibes.
She's hot, but she's a little weird, and she's got some weird fucking shit going on. Second is Inda. She's tsundere. I'm not into the tsunderes, but at least she's not totally just bizarre as fuck. And Hahari's number one because she's got Hakari. Thank you. She's got an attractive body. She was the first one. She seems fairly normal. If it wasn't for her damn mom, and she's cute. And she's, it's whatever. She's easily number
She had
one.
an emotional arc, which was nice. And
They
I
did.
honestly find that Hakari and Karane's kind of side relationship that they keep on making out in different situations.
Yeah, they do.
That was freaking funny.
Well,
But I think there
who
is
could
a
blame
bit of
them?
that jealousy that Mitz said he wanted. Like, there's that scene when Hakari leaves their bed and snuggles up against Rentaro, and Karne's that frustrates her. She's irritated by it. And
There would be some
there's a touch
insane
of it.
jealousy going on in this.
Oh,
It would
absolutely.
be intense.
I think there's a reason why this doesn't actually happen. I think we all are aware that this isn't best procedures. No one's watching this taking notes. Yeah, if I'm as good as him and I have a crossbody bag that says lover on it, which I thought was funny, I'll get all these great girlfriends. No one's seeing this as a manual for real life. It's just a takedown of the harem genre and how absurd it is. And I appreciate what the show does for that, despite all its flaws.
I think it's going to go a route where all the girlfriends actually are soulmates with each other too. And that's why they get along fairly well, despite the fact that everyone is with Rentaro.
I agree completely. It's just a goofy show ultimately, but I do still wish that there'd be a little more. I don't know. I want them to do more with it than what they've done. Honestly, people are just watching
some
the
logistics.
People are watching this anime 9 out of 10 times because they just want to pull their cock out and play with it while they watch these girls dance around a screen because they're all cute girls, and then they start fucking making out. Can we please not? Listen, we're not stupid. None of us are. Let's just not pretend like it's anything other than it is. When two girls start making out on screen for no fucking reason, it's so that dudes can pull their penises out, and that's really what the show is about. The swimsuit episode, there was 2 of them, 3 of them. It's just so you can pull your penis out. I just wanted to see a little more realism for once in my goddamn life in anime. I mean, come on. If they did this show and they actually made it about the real pitfalls of this type of an arrangement, it would be way more interesting. No, there wouldn't
Then
be tits
I
everywhere.
suggest you go look for live action instead of anime.
That shit doesn't
Yeah.
exist. There's no existence of this anywhere. I don't know that it exists, but I've seen all these shows before. You know, it's the same as every other harem show.
But with the same like meta commentary, like, oh, next episode's the beach episode, or
Oh,
we had to
come
cut out
on.
some lines from the manga, or stuff like that.
The
Fourth wall breaks.
The most base thing in this whole anime was the pool episode where they were all, yes, looking very hot at the pool. And yes, I would smash Hawkeye and she would be... Okay, I took my moment.
Move on.
Yeah, moving on, but I took my moment. Hawkeye I would smash so hard. But listen. The pool episode when the guy is like, you guys are fucking weird. What the fuck is going on with this? I just wanted to have some girls to splash around with. I didn't want to get involved in this twisted fucking shit. That is a fourth wall breaking, commentary saying notion of what the fuck is going on, and it is not normal, and these guys didn't want any part of it. That was the most base thing that happened in this whole anime. It wasn't there on purpose. We haven't talked about that yet, but it wasn't there on purpose.
Yeah, I think it was. The show is aware
I'm not sure why
of what
you
it
think
is.
that it wasn't.
It was there on purpose.
Fancy headband in there. What do you
Yeah.
mean? How do you know?
What do you mean? Because it's not normal
Like
for
you say, it wasn't there on purpose. I
No,
mean,
it was there
they
on
wrote it
purpose.
for a reason.
Yeah, it was there. It was there on purpose because one guy is not meant to
think
have
not on
5
purpose.
girlfriends. It's weird.
Yeah, and it's a parody, so therefore that's what it's commenting on.
Huh?
Yeah,
Perfect.
I think this goes above and beyond what we normally get from these harem shows, and it comes with some great production values, the reaction faces, the character designs, all the ways the characters move through their environment, the timing of the gags, the editing is all very sharp. And besides a couple moments of weakness,
Man.
the show looks good, it sounds good, it's a well
Mason
thought
loves
out
this.
show.
It was surprisingly decent.
Mason's going to give this a 4.
I'm not giving this a 4. It's
Oh,
yes, you will. Do it.
You gave Tomo-chan a 4. Like,
Give it a
no.
4, Mason. You can do this.
The show is the show is no better than
I
a lot
believe
of
in
other
you.
shows of its ilk, but it's a lot better than a lot of harem shows. I don't
We
like harem
haven't even.
shows.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Caroline.
Oh, I was gonna change topics.
No, go
great.
for it.
Keep on doing that. We haven't even discussed the special ending song. When
What the fuck are you
Hahari
talking
was
about?
brought in. The special ending song that Hahari, like she even says in the middle of the episode, I have a special ending song that we can't skip. And
Yeah,
so
we need to keep this episode moving along. And
Yeah.
no, they're like, we're gonna run out of time. We're gonna get to the ending, and she's like, no, we're gonna do the credits through the ending, kind of thing. And they're like, oh, it's one of those special episodes.
yeah. Like we don't have time for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the special ending song was amazing.
Was it? Can you tell me about it?
It's Hahari singing all about Rentaro, and I suggest you look it up because
Yeah,
I don't
completely
know how you
different
skipped
visuals.
it, but
They put a lot of work into
a lot of work into the visuals.
Yeah, this whole show felt like it was very well considered. And yes, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not, a comedy that resonates with everyone. But for folks who have seen as many harem shows as us, like it feels different enough and mindful to be worth watching if you like that kind of stuff.
I think the only drawback in terms of the comedy is that there's a lot of screaming for comedic effect. And like, the crazy joke and then the straight man screaming at the jokester, and it happens probably a dozen times each episode. So if you cannot stand that, this is definitely not your type of comedy. Because that's what it is.
Yeah, it's the gags that we've seen 1,000 times because we've seen tsunderes 1,000 times, just with a new coat of paint. Like, one of my favorite gags was really brief, but Nano, like the very robotic, everything's got to be efficient and accurate girl, they're going through a haunted house, and these people keep on popping up dressed as ghouls and monsters, and she's like, oh, that's a human. That's a human. Why are you scared? Human. And then they leave, and they see, like, a mascot walking around the park, and she's like, human. Like, that's how you take a joke that we've seen 1,000 times and twist it into something slightly new and refreshing. And that's kind of how this whole show was for me.
And I think there's even another layer to that joke in that she's supposed to be a computer, an AI, a robot. And what do computers ask you to do constantly? It's to prove that you're human and not a bot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that could have also been a part of it.
Like, Karane
Miss,
is a
you
tsundere.
hate
We've
that.
seen these
You hate
1,000
that?
times.
Ah,
And then
Miss,
she goes on
get
the
a grip.
lie detector thing, and that had a whole gag around her saying, like, Oh, it's not like I like you or anything. That's a lie.
And then that's where the title of the show comes from. Really love you. I also like Nano's pi joke. Like she has to keep on saying the numbers of pi, and I think it comes back later on to keep her calm or something like that.
Can I ask a question out of left field?
Yeah.
Sure.
Trying to keep my shit together here. What value does a parody or a deconstruction of the harem genre really provide at this point?
Laughter.
That's it?
Yeah. Why not? That's plenty.
I'm just asking.
I don't need to feel like emotional all the time. I don't need to feel intrigued all the time. Sometimes you just need a laugh, Mitz. That's all.
Listen, no, I totally agree. I agree with that. I like laughing, but I'm also just trying to figure out like what the deconstruction really offers at this point. I think it's been done before. I think we've all seen these harem shows.
But what harem parodies have you seen?
What parodies have I seen?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I don't know. Parodies of harems?
Yes.
Do I get to reference my anime list?
Yeah, sure.
It's going to take me like half an hour.
You just keep on saying like, oh, we've seen so many like this because.
Well, I've seen a lot of harems. Harems make fun of themselves. They don't even have to be parodies. I mean, Happy
I
Lessons
just don't think we
parody.
usually see them this self-aware. Is what I'm
well, saying. I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you really give that much credit to a show just because they know, just because they break the fourth wall, make comments about how dumb they fucking are over and over again?
If it's done in a clever and endearing way that is refreshing.
Mason's giving this a 4. I love
I'm
it.
not giving the show a 4.
So
the show is
good.
getting a 3.5.
He's just trying to balance out your criticisms.
I'm just here to provide the opposite opinion on stuff.
I think the show is fine. I think it's a lot of fun. The girls were hot as fuck, you know, as far as anime girls can be. I mean, geez, like, good lord, the pool episode was just like, I was at work watching the pool episode, and I'm looking around like I have direct reports now. Who the hell thought that was a good idea to give me underlings? I'm like, is anybody watching me watch this? Looking around like, oh, people can relate. Don't even lie. Don't even kid yourself, listener. You've been at work watching anime, and you're like, oh, is anybody looking at my screen? Because Hakari's tits look really big. And, you know, like, I don't know. The show's a lot of fun. I don't know. I didn't get a lot from it. I other than the fact that it's fun, and ultimately it was more fun when they were more ecchi. And I kind of wish. But oh, by the way, I watched this dubbed, and Rintaro who the fuck did his voice acting? Because he totally could have done Kentaro Oe from Golden Boy, because his English voice actor was hilarious, and I thought his like level of just outlandish excitement over everything was reminiscent of Golden Boy, and that kind of made me really happy inside because I love anime so much. I don't know. You guys want to score this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can score it.
Mason, why don't you go first? I want to see your 4 out of 5. Let's go. Come on.
I already said I'm giving this 3.5 non-lolly girlfriends out of 5. It's not a masterpiece.
Listen.
It's not for everyone. I've said that. Go ahead, Mitch.
Can we pretend that you're at a 3.74 out of 5, and if I just coax you a tiny bit, it'll be a 3.75 and it'll round up?
I was giving it a 3.14159.
Oh.
And it got rounded up to
enough.
a 3.5. You already got this.
Fair
The
enough.
3.5 is the round. I was between a 3 or 3.5 on this one, and I think at the end of the day, like you were saying, is there some deep messaging here besides the fact that I got out that love is love and is equal and optimistic in a way? No. It's a silly gag show where they say, haha, aren't harem romances ridiculous? Now let us do a harem romance. Like, that's all there is to it. I get that.
Lady Emery is so on the ball. She's already written it as a 3.4, 3.5, like way before you even said it. She knew. Watch this. I'm going to give my score, and within half a second, it's going to be on the Discord. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm going to give this show 3.5 girl-on-girl makeout sessions out of 5.
What?
What did I give it?
3.5?
No, it's a 3. Nope. Revise that, Lady
I'm surprised
Emery.
you didn't give it a 2 because
Listen,
it seems like you didn't like it.
I'm going to give this show 3 shots of vodka times 2 out of 5 because the show is a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It didn't offer literally anything.
Did you?
It offered nothing but titillation to me. That's my opinion. Hakari is, yes. Hakari is everything. And, 3 out of 5. Caroline, what do you got?
I surprisingly enjoyed this show, despite the fact that I have my many and very specific grievances with things in anime. Sometimes the joke took a little bit too far with, the whole artificial insemination at 13 thing. I don't think that could have been left out. I think it wasn't funny enough to keep in.
I think it was just an excuse to make her as young as possible for Rentaro.
Okay. I guess you have a point there.
They needed to do the earliest fertilization possible to make
even if she
age gap as small as ridiculous.
As young as she is, it's still weird. They could have just made her 35 and looking.
I'm not arguing with that.
Yeah.
But they needed to have a MILF character, and you might as well have it the youngest possible. Now, did I like that it was the same mom as one of her girlfriends?
Oh my god!
But it made it hit harder. So
I feel so bad for Hikari now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
so
could have rolled with it, all things considered. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
As just having this whole cast going on here, that's what's making it enjoyable because individually the cast is not great. And I thought it was a lot of fun. So I think I'm gonna give. Also, I appreciate the fact that they gave Hikari a mole on her butt, just so people can say, "Oh my god, her butt and a mole on
a mole on her butt."
Yeah, they gave her a mole on her butt.
I didn't catch that shit. That's
you
funny.
can see it every time because she has such a short skirt, so she's practically.
You've been looking. Have you been looking at Hikari's butt?
It's in every season.
Research, Mitch. Research.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, it's in
research.
Every
yes.
That she's in.
For
they
scientific
make it
purposes
very
only,
obvious.
I've looked at Hikari's butt every episode. Caroline says, "Thank you."
Well, once you notice it, it's very noticeable. Yeah. So overall, it was a fun time. I'm gonna give this show 3.5. I really, 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 really love yous out of 5.
I'm changing my fucking score. I'm giving it a 3.5.
What?
Nippleless breasts out of 5. Because there's no nipples, but there should be. Based on how they drew Hakari's nipples, they definitely should be in there, but they're not. So, 3.5, great plastic surgeons out of 5. I don't know why you'd want to have your nipples removed, but you did for some reason. It's weird, but there you go. Out of 5.
I did consider giving this a 4.
There you go, out of 5.
3.5 is fair.
Pancake just closed the bedroom door. I think she's having a phone call, and she doesn't want to hear me screaming nippleless breasts out of 5. There you go.
Why wouldn't she?
Well, I don't know,
Seems
but
like a shame.
yeah, I'd ask her.
No, so I guess that's the end of our show.
Fix my
here.
review, Lady Emery. I haven't seen it yet on the Discord. I'm looking. Fix it.
Calling her
she
out.
fixed it. There you go. She's so on the ball. CEO of the Discord, Lady Emery. Okay.
All right.
Did we all just give the same score?
All
we
of us
did.
3.5s?
It was a lot of fun. I've been playing so many Resident Evil games lately that seeing just the Resident Kisses or some shit? I don't know what the fuck they called it, but that just cracked me the fuck up. I didn't even say that, but and they even did the broken lettering like they do with supposed to look like trees or something. I don't know what the hell, but Resident Evil is so good. And
We gave it the 0.5 there.
It is. The Resident Evil is on the upswing right now. Hardcore, one of the hottest game franchises, and I don't know if this anime is probably old. The manga or whatever it's based on is probably old, but they hit it really hard for me. So I owed it that out of 5, honestly, because Resident Evil is my shit. So
and they kissed.
They
a
fucking
sucker
did.
for when they kiss, and there's a lot of kisses, a lot of smooches.
Well, they did.
There's several people on Twitch that are saying that we've lost our minds for giving us a 3.5.
Well, fuck them. Fuck you, Captain Avatar.
Vince, you hated this show all throughout this review.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I just
Listen
wanted
back to it when you haven't.
He just
had
wanted a
shots
more
of
realistic
vodka.
logistic. He wanted to see the calendar of Rentaro having to arrange. Okay, I spent 17 minutes with Hakari here, and I have 12 minutes to spend with Nano hair, and I have to fit in Kusari between the two.
I'm not wrong, but if you wanted to have a more serious show for once in your life about harems, where stuff happens in a realistic way, he wouldn't have time or money for all this shit, and it might be interesting to watch it all collapse. And Mason would have given it a 4 because it would have been more drama and more in depth than this shit is.
It might have been.
I'm just saying, it was another path they could have taken. They didn't choose that path. That's fine. Hakari's hot. Her mom is even hotter, and oh my God, her mom.
A carbon copy of Hakari, just with long hair.
Thank God that the mother wasn't introduced until the end, because then you have the mother and daughter making out in the hallway of the school, and that would have been extra fun. That would have been hentai.
Could be season 2.
Well, I got a hentai for you. You want to watch it?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Well, okay, listeners, it's up to you. Pick the season for the sequel. We'll review it. Maybe the mother and the daughter will scissor, and then Caroline will be forced to watch it. Sorry, I'm out of control.
No, you're not.
You're right, I'm not sorry.
All right, let's close it out here.
And you're not making funny faces, so that must mean I haven't taken it too far. Guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. If you want to follow us, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on AAA Discord. Don't miss out. I'm literally like making fun of Lady Emery while she writes our scores and the Betting Degeneracy channel right now. It's a pretty lively spot, so you might find yourself at home on the Discord. We're also on TikTok, of course. And if you want to support the podcast, aaadiscord.com/join or Patreon. We do rely solely on your listenership and your support, because I don't... listen, the podcast doesn't really want to throw ads at you all the time. We'd rather just talk anime, so your support is important. And, of course, thank you to all the hosts on the show for tolerating me every episode. I had too much vodka this episode. Jeez, what the
6
fuck?
6 shots of vodka was a choice, Mitz. It was a choice.
Well, that bottle was huge, and you saw it when you were visiting.
You didn't have... You saved some for later. Vodka doesn't go bad.
It's a gallon.
Why did you buy a gallon?
It wasn't my fault. The store owner told me. She said, this is really good, and it's cheap. And I was like, geez, it's cheap? And I bought it, so it's not my fault.
How cheap are we talking for a gallon of vodka?
I think it was like $20.
What?
It goes well with his Reese's Puffs.
I'm gonna eat a top sirloin steak tonight. It'll be all good. Listen, guys, I love you so much. You've been with me for so many years, and I appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Take care.
For Anime Oscar!
Oh my God!
Bye. Go vote.
Bye.